While the most common use of DAX Table Monkey is going to be to connect to Power Pivot models that are inside your workbook, the interesting thing about this is it will work against a Power BI dataset. The trick here is how do you get a connection to that Power BI dataset? And I don't have a user interface specifically of my own for that, but if you go through Get Data Power Platform from Power BI, you'll be able to pull up your pane for your datasets here. Or if you go to, say, your Power BI semantic model and do an analyze in Excel, it'll create you a workbook that has that connection back to Power BI. Once that connection is inside the workbook, we can leverage DAX Table Monkey against it. Now, to be fair, there is an insert table dialog here for users who are on a current modern version of Excel. You could use this. Theirs looks a little bit different than mine, but that's okay. It's a different avenue to get to the same place. But there's no edit capability really that's very obvious or easy. You've got to go into that tiny little edit DAX properties window. So there's still some advantage to being able to use Monkey Tools to modify an existing creation. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a connection here. I'm going to do this the easy way. I'm just going to choose Insert Pivot Table. And at this point in time, it will go and it'll ask me to authenticate to my Power BI dataset if I haven't done so before, where in this particular case I have. And you'll see that it gives me the option to go and build myself a pivot table. Now the important thing I want to call out here, there are no queries inside this workbook. There is no data model inside this workbook. This is a connection back to Power BI. So with nothing here, what can I get from the DAX Table Monkey? Let's find out. Let's go pivots and filters. Let's open up the DAX Table Monkey. And you can see that it's picked up the model name of travel stats. It's important to realize that if you do have a Power BI model in this workbook or a Power Pivot model in this workbook as well, you would have both of them listed in the dropdown here. So you can actually change which connection you want to work with. You can have unlimited connections to different Power BI models as well. In this case here, let's make a table here called countries by year. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to close down airlines. We're going to grab our calendar year. I'm going to grab country. And now I just need a measure here. So I'm going to scroll to the end and let's go and see if we can find something like stay is selected is a good one. Here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm now just going to go and hit create. And what we should see is that this will now go and query the Power BI data model. You'll notice it does make a connection in the year for this particular connection in the connections pane for this particular query. But still, no queries. And there is the nice little table there. And naturally, if we want to, we can now go and we can modify the selection here and tweak the name of the columns and things like that, or limit the number of rows. But at the end of the day, what you're seeing here is the DAX Table Monkey talking to your original Power BI semantic model, which is actually pretty cool stuff. In fact, I don't even need the pivot table anymore. I can go back and delete that connection because all I needed was the connection to be able to set this up. So there you go. That's how the DAX Table Monkey works in order to connect to Power BI semantic models. Thanks for watching this episode of Using Monkey Tools. To get your own monkey, visit our website at monkeytools.ca. Or if you subscribe to Skillwave's Self-Service Business Intelligence Academy, you'll get a free annual pro license included with your subscription. And remember, Monkey Tools was developed to support better Excel and Power BI solutions. If you want to learn how to really master these tools, you should definitely check out our full course catalog at skillwave.training.